Okay.
You gonna watch this?
Yeah, I was gonna watch it.
So my 10-year-old grandson's gonna watch us.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's doing a project. He's coloring right now.
He'd probably like what we're going to do today with the print and cut, or the he actually could cut out the pieces, because he could do, if he likes Wonder Man,
Did
Spider.
y'all go to the page?
What?
Did y'all go to the group and get the picture that got for you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, if he didn't, it's no big deal. But if he did, that's one we'll
I like watching them, and then I'll watch again, and then try it.
Right. Yep.
Now I gotta figure out how to post things after I do it. Hey, I'm getting there.
Good. Ouch. Maybe your 10-year-old grandson can help. He probably knows.
Oh, he knows the computers better than I do.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
I have a computer of my own. And my father does, and my sister does.
What's that? Everybody knows better?
No.
I know the most.
Oh, you know the most. Okay, cool. What grade are you in?
Fifth.
Fifth. I used to teach fifth grade. One of those fifth grade teachers I was. Actually, I taught science, and everybody liked science, so it was good. We did a lot of experiments. See, I cannot find the cup I'm looking for. I had to rearrange everything yesterday. Can't find what I'm looking for. Oh well.
Is Roxanne on?
She's not coming today. Her grandson has a ball game.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, she said she'll miss it, but she'll catch the replay.
I miss her voice. It's such the nicest voice.
Anybody see my green cup?
You see your crayons.
I know. Oh.
Hey, Stephanie. You can unmute. There she is again.
Right, was I on mute? Sorry.
Yep.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm a little bit late today, and I've only just seen the message about downloading an image.
It's no big deal if you don't have it. It's
Right.
just something we're going to work on together if we have time, which we probably will. But
Where did you get it from?
oh, YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. Google.
Google. Just look for Google. Is it Princess Jasmine?
What did you say, Steph?
Is it Princess Jasmine?
Yes, it is.
Right. I'll have a look then while we're talking. See if I can find it.
Well, can you go on to Facebook while we're just sitting here or not? You can just right click on it and save it right there.
All right. Good thinking. Right. I shall do that. Yeah.
Hey, Tammy, can you see? You can see my screen.
Yeah, I love them.
I don't think this guy here is going to cut out very well, though, because look at his. They're really tiny to go on those boxes. And let me scroll in so you can see how jaggedy his hair is. I got to move. Okay. I don't think he's going to cut very easily since he's, well, let me see how
Since
tall.
he's so little.
He's only, well, almost 2 inches tall, so I guess
But
that might not be too bad. I'm going to make his mouth, ungroup and make his mouth black. There we go. Group him back up.
he's cute.
I've been working on making this, you guys, a box for us so that we can decorate it and put ribbons and stuff on it.
Well, that'd be
This
brilliant.
could be patterned paper or something to put on each of these little spots. And then my little ghosts on there. Maybe it reminds
Where
me.
does the tag go?
What?
Where did you put the tag?
This is the tag right here. It goes on your bow. Oopie. It just goes on your bow. And this is 2 pieces. It's like orange on top of an offset white piece. Because I think it's prettier.
What about the little orange pieces here? Where did you put
these are going to go. Do you see that little spot right here?
Okay.
Yeah. If you want
I
to,
hadn't cut them out yet. I wondered where they went, but I should have seen that.
Whoopsie, this got to go to the front. What did I do? Bring to front. There we go.
That is so cute.
Look at her.
Yeah, I like her little pink lip.
Her lips.
Yeah.
You know, that was just that little moon-shaped thing over there in our shapes. And I just did a nose, like right here in the middle or something. Her lips.
Bring to the front.
Yep. There you go. And then this will actually be black because I think better if it's black.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And maybe put a word or something here.
Yeah, boo or something.
Yeah, right.
That is nice.
Yeah, with some ribbons. And ooh, let me show you what I was. Where did I put those? I hit those. See, I was making a bow like that.
Yes.
That would look pretty.
Did you use bow dabber?
I did use the bow dabber, but I'm not very good at the bow dabber.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Thank you.
You, you might be interested in those. We found this thing called a bow dabber, and it's really inexpensive. And you can watch a video and they'll show you. It's real simple to make bows, and you can make some beautiful bows with it.
Is it sort of 2 pegs that you wrap the ribbon round it to make
No,
it?
that's what I usually use, the 2-peg thing.
Yeah,
this thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to use that, but this was easy because you can shove all kinds of different
Oh, that looks good.
styles of ribbon and stuff in there. You should see the ribbons that she makes. Oh my gosh.
I'll have to look at that. When I first started making bows and I saw the 2-peg, I ended up using a potato with 2 crochet hooks in it.
That's smart. Yes.
I never thought about that. Because I was searching for something, and then I found that bow dabber. I watched a video of May made it. I watched her video where she used it, and it was so simple. So
Oh, she used the bow dabber. Okay, I wonder where you originally saw it.
that's why I saw it. But it's only like less than $10 at Amazon, and it's real easy. I can't make a bow at all, and so I can make them with that thing.
Hey Patty, if I want to make that graphic, where do I go on Facebook? Is it Patreon? The Patreon?
Oh no, no, actually I didn't put it there. I just put it on the Facebook groups, all 3 of the groups actually, in case anybody was anywhere. So you can go onto the silhouette group, our private one, or do any of them. And it should be
Patty and just so Patty and Silhouette Studio with Patty. Okay, I'll go to that one.
Something like that. Now I'm looking for the other bows I made. I know I threw them on the floor when I was cleaning. But they're cute. I was making it for my granddaughter. Who knows? See what happened? My husband got me a new overhead iPhone holder so that when I do the other kind of live videos, I'll be able to do it more easily, I think. I don't know. It's all so confusing. All right. I don't know where my other bow went. This was the first box I did, but I don't like it because it's too small, I think. And believe it or not, you guys, I printed and cut these bats. I print and cut that on orange paper using the Silhouette machine. It saw where my registration marks were, and it printed, obviously on my printer, I printed this, but then the squares, the Cameo saw. Surprise. But see, I was making this for this originally because I thought, but I don't like this box. It's too small. So the next one is bigger a little bit. Then I was also doing this because Tammy and I saw a bunch of people that looks like a French fry box, right?
Yeah.
People have really decorated these up pretty, putting ribbon and bows around them and then some nice stuff on the front and colored cardstock. Oh! And then, Nancy's not here, is she?
Yeah, she's here.
Nancy, have you heard of this website? Have you heard of this thing from Silhouette? Silhouette, what was it called, Tammy? The model maker?
Model maker, yeah.
Yeah. Have you found that Silhouette software?
I don't know the model maker. Is that like a 3D or?
It's a, let me open it for you. I think I have it on this. I know I have it on this computer. Hang on just a sec. Gotta get this junk, see if I can find it. There we go. You're gonna, Nancy, you're gonna love this. I thought of you when I saw it because you like this kind of jazz. Okay, and it's $36 or something like that on, let me get rid of this thing, on
Design, swing design.
Swing Design, yeah. Let's see if I can get rid of this box. Oh, that's that. Okay, so now I have it right now. Are you seeing my screen, Tammy?
I am.
Yes.
Okay, all right, now, so you can change this to the different kind of tools that you have. Right now I have it on the simple version, so there's hardly anything right here. But like you can draw something, and once you click off of it, and then you can raise it up top.
This is what they use when they are doing the 3D printers?
Yes, but this just turns the 3D object into a 2D, and guess what? You can send it right to your Silhouette because this is Silhouette software. You can send this right to your Silhouette, and it'll put in all the lines. Or you can.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That you describe a 3D object, and then it will make a 2D thing to model it.
Oh yeah, watch this. So when I click down here, and there's this thing called Street Models. So you can click on buildings, and you can make a building, and you can change it however you want to. And I don't know how yet because I've just gotten this thing.
That does look cool.
Isn't it? And then here's, can you still see me?
Yes.
Here's little houses that I made. It's called woodwork.
There I can.
I like that.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Isn't that funny? But this isn't, I mean, I'm going to try to learn this just because it's good for my brain, but this kind of stuff, I've told you guys before, I can't even put together a puzzle, let alone have my brain understand these different views. And but that seems like that's up your alley, Nancy.
That would be. The guy who did those, those automatas, the cranks and, the little dinosaur.
Right.
Yeah, right. He had a demonstration of something like this, but it wasn't this, and it looked very complicated. And now he started using, a Cameo machine. So I wonder if he knows about this. I should send him an email about this.
Yes, because listen here, the thing is, the way I found out about this was I was just snooping around on the Silhouette site, and there's this link called Learn, and I saw some educator was using something in his classroom, and since I used to be a teacher, I was like, I wonder what they use this for in the classroom. He had his 4th grade students doing this, making whole villages of houses and stuff. I thought it'd be really fun to make like a Christmas village with elf houses. And
you said that was on the Silhouette site?
Yeah, let's see if I can.
Yeah, but don't buy it there. If you're going to get it.
Don't buy it there because it's more expensive.
Yeah, and use Patty Ann's link and go to Swing Design.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there isn't like a free version of it like there is.
Actually, you can download the trial version from the Silhouette store. Let me see if I can find that for you. You can download the free version from there to just buy it.
To just look at it. Sure.
But you won't be able to save anything or bring anything in, and after 15 minutes, I think it cuts off. I don't know, something like that. But I just thought, hey, for $36, I'm going to buy it and see if I can learn something.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I just thought of you and I thought, oh, Nancy likes this kind of jazz.
Oh, I love that too.
The jazz goes over my head, but
that would definitely go over my head.
But you know what though? Like I said, 4th grade students are doing it.
Yeah, it would be not as hard. It's going to be just like the business edition. When you first looked, you was like, oh Lord.
Right. Exactly.
After a little while, you was like, oh, this ain't bad.
Silhouette America. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
I'm at Silhouette America. Then I went to Learn. And then I must have gone to Cameo. Every time I go on this thing's in my way. Nope, that's not where I went. Oh, Stories. You go to Stories. And then I scrolled down here, and then I saw the teacher. Okay, in the classroom. What the heck's he doing in the classroom? So look at this. Oh my gosh, he's got this little, it's probably too loud for you guys. He says there's a lot of math that the kids can do. Let me get past this part. He's doing it with his 4th graders. Okay, you 5th grader out there, look at, you need to get grandma onto this.
which is so often left out.
I'm Suzanne Yamanaka.
They're both in Hawaii. I'm trying to fast forward. Okay, here we go. Look, they're making villages.
And these model makers.
That's what I like to do.
That go in our
I like it too. I think
it was a way for us to introduce geometry.
All I'm thinking is that fourth graders can do it. Now she's showing cutting it by hand, but they'll send it to the Silhouette to cut it.
Elementary school
Sure.
and junior high school students to engineering. My favorite thing about Model Maker is it's, first of all, it gives kids authentic design challenges that they enjoy. Everything is math-based. Let me give you an example. So what the kids do is end up
Now I'll turn this off as soon as he's done with this
miniaturized
part.
pizza box, for example. They take the original pizza box and they have to measure it, the length, the width, and the depth, recreate it in Model Maker. It allows the students to import images. So instead of a plain side, you get a more detailed side. But what the computer doesn't know is which way to orient these shapes. So they're using spatial reasoning, they're using measurement. Then Model Maker shrinks it down and we get a scaled model, unfolded net.
See? Isn't that cool?
The Silhouette.
That is cool.
Fabulous.
I wonder if you can save it as an SVG.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Scaled model.
Good.
Sure
of
can.
a pizza box.
And then I can cut it on the Cricut.
All this
Right.
math
You're saying that would be the paid version, then that would allow you to do that.
the math project for them. There's not a single safety issue.
And they're even
There is
using
a
old,
well-covered-
well, that one's a
and
newer
to be honest,
version, but they're
it's
using
not-
an older Cameo. It's no big deal. There's an older one.
Model Maker, I would say it opens up windows for the students to think of other vocations.
So I'm thinking if they can do it,
Is limitless.
Also,
I mean,
now
us
there's-
older people should be able, us
Exactly.
people ought to be able to do it.
And me
and
too.
Model Maker software are perfect
What's she saying?
to every skill. you
some
need
little girl's
to
gonna
be
say,
able
she
to
wants to be an
do
engineer
it.
now.
Look at the pros and cons of
Let's say I'm
3D
an engineer.
printing. One of the cons is a
I'm saying
single project takes hours to print.
Oh, so he's
Still,
talking about the
it's
cons of using the 3D printer where my sister taught. She had a 3D printer and it took forever for stuff. So here, at least they can make a 3D thing.
Right.
I retired from a high school.
Let me
academy.
pause this so we don't have to.
I was a secretary for 30 years, and
Okay, now wait, I can't hear y'all. Y'all are talking. Wait, I gotta turn you back up. Okay, what?
this is Diane, and I was a secretary for 30 years at a high school. And when we first got the 3D printers, you made me a comb. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, my sister made me a keychain that says Patty.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah, they really are. I don't quite understand them either. It's just weird.
Isn't it nice not to have to go back to school?
Yes.
I'm still
Well, here we are kind of in school again, you know?
That's a fact. Every September, I still think about it.
Right.
Patty Ann, this
Yes.
is Pat. I was wondering if I could have a copy of that video. My daughter is a
Just
teacher.
go online. I don't have this video. This isn't mine. This is just online at Silhouette America.
Okay,
And
all right.
and you just
My-
go to where it says stories.
My daughter is a teacher and she teaches STEM, part of the STEM
Oh,
program.
and they talk about the STEM.
Right, and I know. Well,
Yeah.
she teaches younger and older students physics and math.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Right.
And I think they even have I know they have educator discounts, but I bet they even have like where you could, what's it called, where you try to get a grants, I bet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
probably-
she lives in the UK, so
Oh, okay.
I wish she was here.
Oh, and I got notification for those people who are in the UK. You might get some funny thing from Patreon next time when they want you to sign up. It's just an extra little step to go through because they're just trying to protect your privacy all the more, I guess. Just some notification I got from Patreon.
Yeah,
in the UK.
I got it as well. So that when obviously now, if I added another card to it or something like that payment, my bank would ask me, and what they do, they send you a pin, and you put the pin in, so that it's just double security, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Nothing wrong with them. A little bit more security.
No, none whatsoever.
Oh dear, I see it's 10 o'clock, isn't it?
Yep, 10:01.
Don't forget to record.
Oh, you know what? It might be recording already. Can you see?
It is.
Okay.
Is it recording now?
So have it set up to start recording automatically, which just makes me be able to chop off the front part after it starts downloading to my computer. But anyway.
Clever idea.
Yeah. All right, so I'm sharing my screen, share. So that's what we saw already. So, all right, so let me get myself organized just a bit more. All right, so today's lesson is going to be all about printing and cutting and making things that are larger than our mats, and actually larger than the space that we have that we can print and cut. And for those of you who've been using Cricut all along, you know you can do this by using the slice tool. But here with Silhouette, it makes it easier for us because we don't just have to chop out blocks, you know, of stuff to make things the right size. We can chop them out with our knife tool. So I was just going to show you a few things. I think I will. I'll just continue on. Okay, so the first thing I was just going to show you a few of these myself to begin with. So let's suppose that you are a football fan. I think the Broncos are football, aren't they? And you wanted to make something for your wall because you're going to be having a football party at your house, and you want to make something, or you, your husband, whomever loves the Broncos. So then what you could find online, and obviously you can't do this to sell this, you know, this is just for something you can have hidden up in your house. But anyway, if you get this thing, like I went to Google and just looked up this, I could make it a lot larger if I want to, but I don't want to yet. So there's two things that I could do. I first want to get rid of the words Bronco and Denver, and I could come over here to the left-hand side, way over here, and get the eraser tool, or I could get the knife tool and kind of cut that out with the knife tool, I think, but I'm going to use the eraser. So you can just erase things that you don't want, like this. All right, so I'm just going to erase all of that out of there. Do y'all ever have little spots on your screen and you're not sure if there's spots on the picture or spots?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace it. So I've got to come over here to the trace panel on the right-hand side, and I'm going to move this thing out of my way again. And I'm just going to select the trace area, and this is for print and cut. Just going to do it just like that, and that traced it really, really well. I don't even need to mess with the threshold or anything. So what I'm going to do for this one, since it's a print and cut, I'm just going to say trace and detach. So what that's going to do is just going to take it right out of that page that it was on. So I just have it, and now I can get rid of this thing, this page, by clicking on it and hitting delete on my keyboard. Okay, so now I have this guy right here. Now, I'm going to fix my screen so it looks a little bit easier for you guys to see. I had it on letter. I'm going to change it to automatic. Okay, and I don't want these to show. Okay, so the next thing that I would do is I want to resize him because I'm going to make him, like I said, larger than my mat. So I'm going to make him 15 inches wide, just because. So I'm going to come up here to the lock and lock that. And the width, I'm going to make 15 and hit enter on my keyboard. And since I locked it, it changed it proportionately. Through this chunk. All right, so there he is. And obviously he's way too big for my mat, certainly too big for print and cut. So the next thing that I would do is I want to have something onto which to mount him, a backing for him, because I like them to be sturdier, especially if I'm going to put sticks behind him, if I want him to stand up in something, which I'll show you at the end with my princess. So what I would do next is just click on him to highlight him, hold down the Alt on my keyboard. Notice that changes my little mouse icon into a plus, and I'll just drag this down like this. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one off to the side for right now, and I'm just going to work with this one. And actually, what I could do, the one I just kept off to the side, is I think I can, let's see if I can change it to black like this. Yes, okay. So that's what I want. I just want a solid color backing. All right, now wait, since this is a print and cut, a lot of times what I do like to do is put an offset on this, but I'm not going to put it on this one, and I'll show you that on another one. If I was going to put an offset on this, I would have to put an offset on both of them so they stay the same size. Let me move this thing over here again, and I like to move it, all this stuff way over here. I hate a bunch of junk on the screen. For those of you who are like my husband and just can see the one thing and that's it because it drives you nuts. All right, so here he is. And so now what I usually like to do is I'm going to come over here to the square and I'm going to draw the square. And the reason I want this is I want to know how much of an area I have for print and cut. Now I have a little bit of a larger area for print and cut on my Cameo, but we're just going to go with Cricut. So I'm going to change the size of this square by coming up here. I've got to unlock the lock. And as you know, the size that we can make this is 6.75 inches wide by 9.25 high. And that's how big we can make a print and cut for Cricut. So obviously his whole thing is not going to fit on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the paint palette tool on the very right hand side, click on that, and change the transparency here with this slider so I can see a little bit better what I'm doing. All right. So as you know, if I was doing this in Cricut, all I would be able to do is to get squares, unless they've changed something. I would just be able to get squares and slice with squares or maybe circles or ovals, that kind of thing. But with this software, for our Cricut machine or any machine, we don't just have to do it like that. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to scroll this around like this and see now, can I put that over there and get all of that orange part? And I certainly can. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to come to my knife tool. And I always like to make sure that auto apply is not checked. Up here at the top, I do not want that checked. And it looks like the last time I used my knife tool, I had the triangular knife blade attached. I don't want that. I'm going to click this down arrow and I'm going to draw freehand, I guess. I had curve for some reason before. All right, so I'm just going to start over here on the left-hand side of his mane, and I'm just going to start, whoopsie, click, hey, what's happening? Oh, freehand. Okay, I didn't have freehand before, I'm right. I had curve before. I prefer curve because I can click and put down a little node and just go slowly through here. Now notice I'm just going right between those two colors right there. Just like that. I'm not going to have a square cutoff line like I would with my Cricut machine. And when I get right here, I'll put down a glass click, and then I'm going to start going up this way. And then I can just get a head out of here and go around. And when I get back to here, it'll click, or I double click. And now nothing's happened yet because I have to hit apply for my knife. And once that applied, I can, okay, I shouldn't have done it like that. See this piece right here? I'd forgotten. I did this once before too. I don't want that piece like that. So I'm going to hit Control Z and let's see. I'm going to see if I can figure out where this is. What I clicked on was this, and I'm not really sure how to use this very well yet, the multiple undo, because otherwise I could go undo, 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 undo. But I'm just going to go back to here and see what happens. Look at this, undoing all of those. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Because I can undo one more. All right. So you understand where I am so far, right? I just back to the very beginning again. Here's my guy. I'm going to try this again. So I'm going to start again with the knife tool. Again, make sure the auto apply is not checked. I'm going to use the curve. I prefer that. And I'm going to start here. And again, I'm going to go in the center of this because that's where I like to go, kind of the center. But this time, what I'm going to do instead of doing what I had done before, I'm going to make sure I go on the outside of that part right there, because I think I went partly up it. Oh, hopefully I did this right this time. Let's check it out. All right, so I need to hit apply now. Okay, that's the way I want it to be. You see that? That's one piece, and look, it's going to fit if I rotate it around a little bit, or I could rotate my box. It's going to fit there for our print then cut perfectly. So that part's done. All right, let's see what else we can get. Okay, so what I'm deciding I'm going to do now is, and I'm just playing around like this. You can fix this however you like it. Maybe you'll see something better. I'm just seeing this right quick. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go around this part. So again, let's see, I can get my knife tool, make sure auto apply is not on. And again, I'm just going to go actually right up through here and right up through here, I think, and up to there. And then just around and click and apply. And there's that, and that should fit for a print then cut perfectly. Yep. And this last piece, I don't have to do anything to. Okay, what's that? I don't want it. I don't have to do anything to that last piece because it's perfect. Okay, so bring him back. Here I am trying to put together a puzzle again. I think it says something about intelligence, doesn't it, Nancy? Or lack of. Okay, so there's that guy. So what I would do now, and I see I did slice off a corner of this little box before, it's no biggie. So what I would do now, though, is, where is my little black fella? There we go. So what I would do now is I would print then cut this, and I would have this to put it on. However, this is too big for my mat too. And I'm going to show you me putting one of these, a print then cut one after I've printed it onto the black at the end. All right, so this guy right here, he's too big for the mat, I think, no matter how I roll him around. And he is, because I can see his size is 14.999 for his width. So I could just cut him anywhere I want, just so he'll fit and it doesn't have to be fancy. And apply. And now I could just cut him. Oh, but I want to show you something I also like to do. I almost forgot. So I can cut him just like this, right? And then I can tape him back together, and it'll be hidden behind this stuff, which would be bring to the front. So that tape would all be hidden behind this. But what I like to do to make it extra secure is I like to add a piece to the largest piece. So to this piece, I just come over here to the shape tool and get a rectangle or anything and draw a rectangle out. And so I want to make sure, of course, that that's still going to fit. It's not going to all be too big, and it won't be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab all of this and just right click and say weld. So what I did was I just welded a little tab onto here so that when I go to tape these two pieces together, I have that extra little piece in the back, excuse me, that I can weld on now, or that I can tape it to. Now I noticed that there's a little bit of a nut place right here. So what I could do, because it was peeking out, is just slice that right off, hit apply. I'm still using the knife. Just move that little piece and delete. And now this should fit without any of that other part peeking out. Like that. It just gives you an extra security, an extra piece to have tape for extra stability on the back. Okay, so say we wanted this guy to be double-sided because we want this to be on an arrangement in the middle of the room. So all we need to do then is to take these pieces right here and grab all of those. Not him, get him out of here. Grab all of these, hold down my Alt and duplicate, And then all I need to do is right click on that and say flip horizontally. So then that would print in such a way that I could put it on the back of this thing right here. Okay, so that's all you need to do for that. And I'll show you later, again, how you can glue these on. And if you want to make something really big, like I had a really big, really pretty Cinderella. I'm not sure where she went, but I'll show you how you can put sticks and a little bit of extra bling on them and stuff like that at the end. So that's that one. And let's see, are there any questions so far? Doesn't look like.
Nope, don't see none.
Okie doke. All right, so that's that for the Denver Broncos. The next one was the Miami Dolphins. I thought I'd do that for the people. And I'm just doing a few of these things because, you know, I didn't want it to be all girly with princesses. So anyway, I'm on to this one. And let's scroll out a little bit. Okay, here I have him already traced. Move him out. So of course I went and got him, and the first thing I need to do is trace it. So again, I'm going to come up here to the upper right hand corner where the toast is, or the butterfly, the trace panel. Select the trace area. And of course, you know, you may not be into football at all and you don't care about any of this, but just realize that you can use this for any image that you have that you want to make larger than your mat. Okay, I need to move that over. Now I noticed this is kind of wacko because it didn't get the orange suns. I think I upped the threshold to see, yep, if I could get it, and I did. So that looks like a perfect trace, especially since we're doing print then cut. We like the whole thing to be like that. So again, since I'm doing print then cut, I like to use the trace and detach over here. So what that did was it detached him right out of this backing, which I can click on and delete. And I'm going to group him together. Okay, this one's going to be kind of weird. Think about this. Okay, you really might want to have something behind this one, because if I do a print then cut, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. I wonder if I go to offset right now, see what's going to happen. All right, so the offset will probably make it work just fine. I offset it, as you can see, it offset it all over the place. But I'll just leave it like that for right now, and I'm going to change the color of the offset to white to see what we get. Okay. And I wish I had saved my original picture, because I'm not sure if this is supposed to be white in the center where his mouth is or what. But we could change this easily if we wanted to change the white, this to be white inside his mouth. We could change that simply by coming over here to simplify, because there are a lot of nodes there. Gets rid of a couple. Then I click on one of these nodes, and I would just start hitting delete on my keyboard until I got rid of all that part right there. If I wanted it all to be white, I could do it just like that. Okay, let's see, what else could I do? I could change the inside of the sun probably. Let's see. I don't know. Anyway, here, so here's what we have. Oh, and what I could do actually right now with that backing piece, I could say to object, release compound path, and then I could just weld it all together. Okay, just like that. And then it would all have that white part behind it. And that would probably be an easier print than cut, especially if we're making a big thing that we want to have in an arrangement or something like that. So again, though, what I'm going to do is group this all together. And right now it's 15 inches, 15.6. When you bring, okay, I'm going to see what Diane has to say here. She had a comment in the chat. When you bring these into Design Space, you still have to eliminate the background. How do you do that? Can you just pull it into Design Space and show us exactly how to do when you're done? Okay, sure, I'll try that. For this one right here, for the dolphin. So right now, do you mean when I have the print then cut pieces cut up, Diane?
I mean, when I'm pulling it in, you get it to that piece where you have to eliminate the background, you know, when you before you actually pull it in, you know, where I can't explain it, but I always have to put a background behind it that's a different color.
Oh, she's talking about, I think, so that when you cut it out, it don't. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, when you're trying to pull it into Design Space, before you even get it in there, when you're pulling an image, then you have to get rid of that gray background because it always comes with it. Do you know what I mean?
So you mean if I was to save this as an SVG?
No, as just a JPEG.
Okay. Yes, I do know what you mean then. Okay, yes.
Then that background comes with it.
Okay, you're right. Because if you go to save to hard drive, the class dolphin, I'll save it as a JPEG, class Miami dolphin, and dots per inch, save. And because I don't think, here, I have it on my desktop now.
Yeah.
It's not online. Can you see my Cricut screen firing up?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is.
A new project. Upload. Upload an image. Browse. He's in my downloads. Class Dolphin JPEG. Oh, you know what? He's not even going to show up. You know what? Okay, who knows why he didn't even show up?
Just do anyone.
Do you know why he didn't show up, though?
Because you didn't trace him?
Nope, because he's not on my mat. There's nothing on my mat. Or I didn't selection. Yeah. I have to go file. If he's not on my mat, I have to go file, save selection. Hard drive. Because he just didn't even show up. All right, so let's see. JPEG. Okay. Yes, overwrite. Okay, save. All right, let's try that again. Back. Browse. Oopsie. There. See, now he shows up on there. Okay, open. Okay, I see what you're saying. This part right here then, right?
Yeah.
Because I'll go to complex and continue.
Yeah.
And then you're right. You have to do this to get rid of it.
Yes.
And I can.
And
so there that is.
Okay. So there is no, I thought there might
So what I hit was the select and erase button up here.
Yep.
Is that what you've done also?
Yeah, yes. And sometimes it works out. And sometimes, like you see the dolphin, maybe that little white part cutting through him might have erased when you erased the white background, but it didn't in this case.
Okay, so I want to show you something then. There is this here. Are you familiar with the advanced options? Okay.
I've learned that because of you, yeah.
Okay, because there's a tolerance in case it's taking too much or not enough. You can change the color tolerance.
I just thought there was a trick, but I guess there's not.
No, not that I know of.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay, so the next thing we were going to do is we were going to try to cut him apart again so he can be a print and cut. And we'll size him again so that he will work for Cricut Design Space. So once again, all I would do is get the little box so I kind of get an idea of what I have to work with. It's not, exact, but just an idea. I'm going to change the box size to, who knows, 6.25. Hit enter by, yell it out. This reminds me of when I used to watch Romper Room. I think having the offset on helps with bringing it into Design Space. Okay, all right, cool. So anyway, here we go with this guy. And again, I'm going to click on this piece to make it transparent. I need to move my chat box. There we go. Transparent a little bit so I can see better. So this one's going to be weird. Let's see. Whatever shall we do? Let's see if I do this. Okay. Looks like I can get the outer edge of him and this. Is that a sun? I guess it is for Miami Dolphins. Okay, so I'm going to get the knife tool again, and I'm going to give this a whirl and see how well I can do. Again, auto apply came on. I must have that in my preferences to come on automatically. I'll change that because I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to unclick that. And the reason why I don't like that on is because I like to be able to adjust the nodes or the little points I put down just in case I need to before it goes ahead and does its little knife thing. I'm going to scroll in a little bit closer. And here's my knife. And okay. Not sure how I should exactly, we'll see, I just went over him a little bit. Not exactly sure how I should be doing this. And those of you who are watching probably are saying, don't do it like that. But live and learn, right? All right, so I'm going to come out here. And I think I'll just stop. Ooh, I don't know whether to stop here. I think I will come out like this. I'm just using the wheel on my mouse to move it so I can get up here. And I'm coming back down around. All right, let's see what's going to happen let's scroll out a little bit. Okay, keep your fingers crossed. Let's see, I'm going to apply the knife. Okay, and let's see if that's going to really truly fit in my print and cut area. Yep, it sure will. That's perfect. Okie doke. So there's one piece done. But see how much better that is than just doing what we can do over in Design Space. Because in Design Space, all I would have been able to do is pretty much, well, you can get a circle, like I said, I guess, but get this box, and then you'll have these straight lines or round lines from the box. So let's get rid of that. All right, let's see what else we should do next. I probably should do the other part of the sun. It may not fit. If I turn this around, it's gonna fit anyway. Yeah, there we go, it'll fit. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just gonna get the knife tool again. I'm gonna do the same thing again. Just gonna come in here, go kind of around his body a little bit. And maybe I should be getting even close into his body because I probably don't want this little line to show where I'm going to be attaching these together particularly. This is just the beginning. Okay. Sometimes I don't think about these things. Nancy was saying for print and cut, it's not actually going to print the white stuff. It's just going to cut. Here. All right. So I'm going to apply. And that's done also. So the last thing I have to do now is figure out where shall I cut the dolphin. And so let's see if I twirl this around a little bit. Okay. I was hoping I could get both of these fins.
I think you can add another 0.50 to one because you got it both set at 250. And one can be 6.75, right? Or 9.75.
Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't do, oh, yeah. It's the 6.2. Yeah, you're right. Oh, no, I didn't have the lock, but you're right. It should be 6.75. And 9.5. Okay, so there we go. So let's see if that helps.
Nope.
Oh, well, that's okay. All right. Oh. Hey, hey. Looky there. Oh, no, I didn't get them both. I got this one and that one. Okay, never mind.
That's all right.
So let's see. What I'll do is I'll just draw somewhere. I'll just willy-nilly it. Let's get the knife. And so I'm just going to start here. I guess I'll go here. And like I said, I'm just playing around. I don't really have a plan for this. And apply. All right, let's see. Is this going to fit Okay, that
Yep.
fit and that fits. So we would be done with this guy now also. And what I should have done in the beginning again was to make the, did I make a duplicate? I think I deleted it. So I would have made a duplicate of it and turned it probably to a solid color because I don't need to cut out two that are print then cuts. And let's see. And then I could have, again, where's all this stuff? Oh, that's that, okay. Then I could have, oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, well, anyway, that's that. There's this guy, ready to be pieced back together like a puzzle. Perfect like that. So he could be a print then cut and make him big. And again, on the black pieces, I would just cut it out. I wouldn't need to cut it out as much because it's not a print then cut, it's simply a cut. So I could maybe just cut him in half and put that extra little tab for the extra strength and then hot glue him onto there or glue him onto there. So that's that guy. All right, let's see what else we got here. We got, that's something else. And that's the last thing. Okay, we got Snow White right here. I just brought her in like this and I'm going to make her larger. And so that I'm going to make her, I'm going to lock the lock and I'm going to make her 15 inches tall. And maybe you have a little boy and he'd rather a Spider-Man or something like that. Harder like Spider-Man, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the first thing I think I would want to do is make an offset on this, but I don't think it's going to work, so let's check it out and see. Offset, offset. Nope, see what it did? It put the offset around the box. So what I need to do first with her, even though it doesn't seem like I would have to because there's no box around her, the first thing I have to do is trace her. So I'm going to move it in like this. And I'll come over here to the trace tool. And there's the toast and select the trace area and go like that. Okay, so I don't get a very good trace right off the bat, so I'm going to up my threshold some, keep going up until I'm satisfied with what I'm getting. Okay, I like that. Well, yeah, I like that a lot. I was going to say I don't get the definition in her bodice or her sleeves, but that's okay because this is going to be a print then cut. It's not that I'm trying to get the little pieces to cut out this time. So on this one again, I would just go to trace and detach. Hopefully, yeah, let's see how that works out. So there she is looking gorgeous, and I can get rid of this stuff that you can barely see, but it's back there, and I'm going to delete it. Okay, so now we have her, and now I can do an offset of her, and usually when I'm doing the little princesses, I do like to do an offset of them. I didn't do it on my Jasmine, I'd forgotten, but I usually like to. I just think it gives them a nice little finishing touch. So I would come over here to the offset tool, the star on the right hand side, and of course you can change your offset to any size you'd like. Looks good to me, and I'm just going to make it white. So now you can see, whoopsie, bring her both up. Now you can see she has a nice white offset around her, and put her down like that. Okay. And I don't mind that this piece is right here because I think it gives strength to her arm, this little spot right here. So, what?
So if you were going to do the thing with the, like the cake topper and make her the exact same on the back.
Correct.
So which way do you flip her?
Horizontally.
Okay. And so she'll look the exact same on the back. Because I know when I was doing Carter's thing, I couldn't figure out, but then Betsy told us how to make it where it was two-sided, remember?
Yes.
Vertically, isn't it?
Wait a minute. Yeah. Right. It would be vertically, wouldn't it? Now
I think so. I think Betsy showed us how to do it to where we could put it together where we had it on both sides.
Right. Nancy, are you there? Is that correct?
You want horizontal for this one.
Would I want horizontal for this one to put it on the back? That's what I thought. Okay. Because then this will.
You just picture it like a card. You're folding it in half.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I knew Nancy is my puzzle girl. I think you are anyway. Do you like puzzles, Nancy? Are you good at them?
Absolutely, I am very good at them.
See, I knew it. Oh, I can't.
Anything spatial stuff like that, I love.
Oh, see, do you remember in high school or grade school when you had those? Okay, now if they flip this box this way, what would it look like now? I'd be like,
I know.
I have no clue. I can't see it. I can't picture it. Nope. Never could.
Me either.
Okay, anyway, I have to actually have the pieces in my hand and putz with them. So anyway, so we would flip her horizontally then for this one. Okay. Anyway, so now we have this and this. And again, she's too large for our mat and obviously too large for print and cut. So again, what I would do is get out the trusty little box just for a little idea of how big to make it. And this time, I'm not sure why it was black. This time I'm going to make it the correct size. So it's going to be 6.25 and hit, no, 6.75. Enter. And 9.25. Enter. Okay. So that's the size, 6.75 and 9.25. And I'm going to once again come over here and change its transparency so I can see through it well. All right. So she was a little bit of a problem when I played with her earlier because I don't want to put a sharp line across her dress or anything. So what I ended up doing was I just got the knife tool, and again, auto applies checked, uncheck it. It's still on curve. I'm going to scroll in a little closer or a lot closer. And let's see, I'm just going to start here, over here on the right, just because I'm going to come here to where her bodice starts and just kind of follow this along here. And then up like that. Then I just went through here and I actually followed her fingers around. So sometimes it's a little bit tedious. And I actually, if I really was doing this, I could even scroll in closer so I could make sure I was getting it a good job. Okay, whoopsie. All right, so now I'm going to apply. And that cut her. Uh-oh. See, I didn't do that very well, but that's okay. For now, it won't matter. It's just a test. Okay, so let's pretend I did that a little bit better than what I did. Get our box again just to make sure. Oh, sure enough, she's going to fit there perfectly. And you see how it's not going to have a sharp, just a straight cut across there or across her hand or across her dress. So now for her dress, oh, let's see, how shall I do this? I don't know why I say shall. Doesn't that sound sort of, how shall I shoot? It just sounds kind of odd. All right, how shall I do this? I'm going to get her feet first because they're problematic down there. So once again, I'm going to get the knife and it's not auto apply anymore. So I'm just going to come down here. Let's see. I'll just come like this. So again, I should scroll in because I really like to get right in the center of that little line there. No, I'm not. But I'm just getting her feet. And apply. So, but you can see how that's going to look a little bit better than having just a straight cut across here. It won't really show up very much, especially if you're the kind of person that likes to use stickles or glitter kind of thing, because you could put a line of that glitter glue or the glitter, not glitter glue, but the glitter right here, and it will surely hide any lines that you have. So let's see, what should we do next? I didn't say shall. Let's see. Move my chat. All right, so that's going to work there. So I'm going to go right down. Let's see if I go down there. Yeah, perfect. So I'm just going to go right down this seam right here and around. So again, I'll just get the knife and just start here. And I can just try to stay in that seam. I could go more slowly and be more careful. But okay, there's that. And I'm going to apply that. And again, you can see how this little bit right here, I might not put any glitter on, but right here, I could put some glitter on here, or stickles, or whatever other brand you might use. And I always like to double check and make sure, yep, that's going to fit for print then cut. And this last one will fit as a print then cut also, just like that. So the other thing we have to do though is get her, because she is too tall for my mat. Unless you have the taller mat, and then there's not a problem. But if you only have the 12 by 12 mat, then what you're going to do is just cut her somewhere, and it really doesn't matter where. That. Oops. And apply. And then you have two pieces that will fit on the mat. And again, the one piece I do like to add that extra part to. And then I just weld these together. And then I have that extra little part here in the back where the two are attached together. And that will help with the stability of that. And then I would just go ahead and, whoopsie. Let me grab both of these, send them both to the back. And then I can bring this up. And if I like doing puzzles, this one should be pretty easy, right? I could put her back together like this, and I must be missing something. So obviously I didn't even get this together properly. But anyway, okay, so you get the idea. So that's how that works, just like that. And again, if I wanted to, I could have mirrored her horizontally, or right-clicked and said flip horizontally, so I could have one on the back of her as well. Okay, so that's that one. Actually, you can flip horizontally or vertically. It'll give you the same result. Okay. Nancy says, not to worry. We can actually flip them horizontally or vertically. It'll give us the same result. So then we don't have to think. That's good.
Oh, good. Thanks, Nancy.
Yeah.
I'd forget that. And I'd want.
Pat said, if you want to cut the white out between her arm and dress, how would you do that? I had trouble figuring that. I've done it on other ones, but I'm not exactly sure how I would do it.
I have an idea because I've done that recently.
You've cut it out. I've cut it out too, but on this one I was having an issue with it.
Well, the way I done it, and it might be a roundabout way, but I went to my trace tool and I traced by color, and I traced that white in between there. That's it. So it gave me that piece, and then I went back and I subtracted. And subtracted.
Okay, perfect. Did you hear that, Pat? She went ahead in the very beginning, and what she was doing, she did trace by color and got the white here, and then that gave her the white piece, and then she was able to click on that and subtract. Okay. All right. So now we're on to Jasmine. And where is she? Here she is. So she was the one I said if you had time to grab, go ahead and grab her, and maybe you can work on her with me. So you should have grabbed something like this if you had time and wanted to. I already have my thing set up, my page set up for print and cut. So I'm going to take off those. It's the grid. Okay. All right. So here she is. So once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase her size to about 15 inches. Going to lock the lock and make her 15 inches tall and hit enter. And I'm going to scroll out and move this girl over. Okay. All right. So now what I have to do, obviously, since there's that white box behind her, is we need to go ahead and trace her. So come up to the trace tool, select the trace area, and then just trace. And you can zoom in a little bit if you'd like to see how well your trace looks. And look at this, it looks kind of junky to me because you can see all those little openings and all those lines. So I did go ahead and up the threshold on mine till I was satisfied pretty much with how that looked, and it's getting kind of ugly. Okay, that looks pretty good like that, I think. So on her, all I did was trace because she's not ready to print and cut. I have to color her. So rather than doing trace and detach, yeah, visual, spatial orientation, or lack thereof. I have the lack thereof, Diane.
Me too.
Yeah, spatial, I forgot about that term from back in the day. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and trace. Scroll back out. And I'm going to put her over here and get rid of this box with her on it. Delete. All right. So let's move over this way. The first thing I noticed was this crazy little bird, and he wasn't working very well for me. You can leave the bird there if you want to, but I got rid of the bird because he was bothering me. So I scrolled in there, and I didn't like him because he didn't have a beak. He just looked weird to me. So, oh. All those nodes. I'm going to simplify the nodes to make a lot less nodes. And actually what I could probably do instead of what I did earlier is I could probably come to the knife tool and just slice this part out here, maybe, I'm hoping, and hit, oops, got it. And now hit apply and hope. Yeah, that did it. So now I can just drag that bird right off of there and delete it. I don't want the bird. And kind of messed up her hand a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this piece and get rid of this piece. Some of these little tiny scraps. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll back out because I want to see really what her hand looks like. I'm going to go ahead and come up here to the color palette and change this to a color. Nope. Okay, so we had an issue here. So what I have to do now is I got to mess with the nodes. So I think just to make this easier, I am going to get rid of this little circle, this little thing right here, delete, and I'm going to scroll in so you guys can see what I'm doing. And again, I might not be doing this the easiest way, but there are a lot of ways to do things. So I'm going to bring this over here and put those two together. And so I should need to reshape this a bit because that is nowhere near looking, whoopsie, Control Z to undo what I just did. So all I'm going to do now is click on a couple of these nodes and just say delete. This one, delete. I think I'll even delete this one up here. Now she looks like she has a big knuckle. That's okay. All right, let's scroll back in. Okay, so this is what we have so far. A little bit more. Okay, so now what I'm going to start to do is start to color her. So to color her, let's just click on something like her waistband right there. And I'm just going to come up here. Oh, I don't think this is going to work right now because
Did you release Compound Path?
I thought I did already, but maybe not.
Yeah. I thought you did.
Yeah,
you did.
Because you see all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, I know what's wrong. So what I need to do is get rid of this. And now I can click on this. And that's my backing piece, which I want. And I actually could have done what I said I like to do on her. This is why I forgot to do it before also. I could have added an offset to her, but not to worry about that right now. Just going to come over here now and I'm going to start coloring some of this. I thought I was. Okay, there we go. No. Oh, you know what, you guys? This is the issue I had before too. Watch this. You see that? Okay, I want to show you something. So let's undo that. Z, Z, Z. Okay, let me scroll in to show you. Okay, this sure looks like this shape right here is closed, doesn't it? I don't see any opening on that shape whatsoever. But if I double click on that shape, oops, can't double click that fast. Look, when I click on that shape to get the nodes, look what's pointing up, look what's showing up, a red node right here, or a red point. If I just click on that like we learned, to change it from a red one to a regular one, look what happens. It will color in. It's going to happen a lot of places. I'm not sure why that's doing that, but at least I know the solution. So let's come down here and try to do her pants. Let's see if we can do those. I'm going to click on this, try to make them a lighter color of that same one. Nope. Looky there, that won't work. So I'm going to click on this line with the nodes and see if there's a red one somewhere. Sure enough, look right there. You see that one right there? When I click on that, boom. I don't get it, but it works. So here's another piece. I'm going to try to color this in the same color. Oh, it's not going to let me till I do this. Oops. Okay, now it should let me. Okay, let's see, maybe. Yep, there we go. So anyway, we would just keep coloring her. And notice here now, sometimes you got to be really careful, especially if you're ever making any SVGs to sell or to give away. Do you see this bit of junk right here? You don't want to leave little stray pieces like that in your stuff. So make sure you delete those little stray pieces because those will cut. And it's just a pain. So let's go back out. And some of these little pieces, like right here, if you can see under her armpit, I really don't think that piece is necessary. You're not changing the red to gray. The two reds ends are just sitting on top. Oh, but why is there two red nodes?
That I can't tell you.
Okay.
I have no idea why it didn't connect. But
did you separate them apart and you could see there were two of them?
If you separated them apart, I think you'd see that there's two of them. So
okay.
I'm just kind of like snaps them together.
Okay, I'm going to try that. Let's see. Let's get rid of this guy right here first. Delete and delete. Okay, so I'm going to see if her this top part will color. Okay, so let's see. Boom. No. So it must be the same thing again. So I'm going to click on this to get the nodes. Okay, now let's go over here. Let's scroll in really close. And let's move this guy. I want the, oh no, I don't either. Let's see. Ah, look at that. Look at that. You are so right. Very good. Okay, so let's go. I'm undoing all this because we don't want that. So who would have guessed that there were two red nodes right on top of each other, but they must not be totally on top of each other or something, right? So when I just click on it, it makes them jump together and voila.
I've noticed that happens mostly if you take something off, like you took the bird off.
Yeah. If I hadn't taken the bird off, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
I think so. I've noticed it it might have. But I've noticed it more often, like sometimes when I bring something in, it has a bunch of junk, and I take that eraser and erase it. Then I realize I have a lot of red nodes. So I've come to the point now where I color it first.
Oh, that's smart.
Then I cut it off.
Okay.
So I don't have to go punching all those red things.
Yeah, that's smart. Because look, I'm going to have to do it again with her lips, I think. Looky there.
Yeah.
Right there. Bink. Okay, I got more than her lips, but anyway. Okay, well, y'all know how to color, and we're running out of time a little bit, so I did want to show you down on my desk what I do with these things usually next. So if you had made her a print then cut, and I do have to give you a little warning that my printer ran out of ink, so she's kind of purple, but you can still get the idea from her even if she's purple. So let's see if I can. Try to figure out how to make it so that you guys can mostly see down here on my table right here. But mostly you see, oopsie, sorry. But it's just that little tiny picture, right? Or can you make it big for yourselves?
No, we see her.
Oh, okay. So here she is, and I did do a print and cut of her. And I had the little places just like I had shown you that you can barely even tell, especially if I had it better taped together. And she's purple, like I said. And here's the other piece that I just cut. And I had that extra little notch so that it was easier to do. So what I like to do when I'm making something like this, especially if I want her to stand up somewhere, look, she's not going to stand up even if I had a third piece on her. What I like to do is I have a whole slew of popsicle sticks and tongue depressors, and I have my glue gun. So what I usually like to do is just go ahead and start putting some stuff on her to make her more sturdy. So I knew I was going to need some more glue, so hang on just a sec. Let me get this out. All right, so I just do like that. And I put a stick behind her. Okay, then I'm just going to put another one right here. And you can put the fat sticks or the skinny sticks or whatever will fit for you. And that will fit there. And this is just going to help her to be more stable, especially if you're using her at a party, in an arrangement or something like that. You want her to stand up somewhere. And then sometimes I like break some in half, put them here, but this looks like this will fit right here. Like that. Okay, so that's what I do there. I was going to die if I put that on the wrong side, but luckily for me, I didn't. All right, so now I'm going to just do the same thing again. I'm going to put the glue on top of this stick and start gluing her on down here. Kind of make sure she matches up nicely. And I could put glue all the way to the sides, not just on the sticks if I wanted to. Just kind of bend her back, put some more glue. And again, I could, if I want to, put a little glue on her hand out here, her hip, her hair. And I'm getting glue all over everything. Okay, and the last piece is this right here. Her head. And then you have all those little glue things to get rid of. And then what you can do as well, I have some stickles. These are stickles if you're not familiar. But Stephanie, you know of a brand that you like better, right? And these are like about dead. There's nothing left in them much at all. So I'm going to go with the brand that Stephanie recommended. Hey, Stephanie, if you can hear, what brand is it? If you hit your space bar. Nuvo? Something like that. Okay.
Is that right, Stephanie?
All right, so one of the things I've seen a lot of people like to use are this thing called glossy accents. And I've seen people use that on the eyes because that makes them kind of sparkly. So you could sparkle up your eyes a little bit with this, make them a little glossy. And then, you know, just use your stickles or whatever you have. This I tried from Joann's, this glitter glue. Ugh, I don't like it. So let's just pretend I'm going to use this color. And again, you know, you can just fancy her up. And if there's any place, like I said, where you've glued together, especially on somebody like Cinderella, if you have a color that would work, you could always add this right where that little glue part was that you glued the things together. And you would never even notice that that's where you did it. So try it now, Steph. Oh, she's had trouble. Sorry, try my space.
Is it working now?
Yes, it is. Yes. Okay, so what was it that you like to use?
Nuvo drops.
Nuvo drops. All right, so as you can see now, she's very sturdy. I could, you know, with that added sticks, she will, well, you see my new holder up there. Okay, she would stand up, you know, and she would be very cute and pretty if she wasn't purple. And anyway, and so then again on the other side, what I could have done is I could have put the reverse part on here, so she would have been double-sided, especially if she was going to be in an arrangement on a table for a birthday party or something for a little girl. I think it'd be really super cute. So that's pretty much it. Anybody have any questions? I'm probably going to do another video of this to put up online, a real one, because I really like this technique of using our Silhouette software for this. And I'm going to go get some more, what do you call it, ink today, because Tammy, I haven't figured out how to use that thing yet, and I want to get some today. Whoops. You got to be careful. You don't play with the glitter thing before it's dry. Anyway, okay, anybody have any questions? Or any comments or anything? You can hit your space bar if you want to talk for a moment.
Would that work equally as well with vinyl?
Wow, I'm glad you asked me that. Yes, ma'am. I have some other samples here. So this mini right here, she was mostly done out of vinyl, but she was vinyl and wasn't a print and cut. It was I cut them out. But I did the same thing. Made the black thing on the back, and I made sure that the cut things were good. This mini was made out of cardstock. And she's, oh, I'm gonna have to turn you guys down like this because my green screen's messing that up, isn't it? Okay. This mini right here, is it still messed up? Yeah, because she's wearing green, is made out of, okay. Here's a big bird that I did. He's missing one of his legs. I must have left it over there in the thing. Here's a Donald, see again, a Donald Duck. And he's got, whoopsie, he's got the black backing as well. Okay, this is not staying well. Sorry, guys. Are you getting sick? All right, anyway. Yes, but anyway, yes, definitely. And this one, again, is a cardstock one with pieces cut out. That's as easy to do. And I could have made him a lot bigger. I have a Minnie Mouse over on the other table that's really big. Well, I'm not going to get Minnie because it's green and you won't see very much. But here is another one that I had done. She's really pretty haphazard now. She's been laying around, but as you can see, I added some glittery stuff to her. I did not put the second piece on her yet, but I did make the cuts that kind of followed her dress, so you really can't even tell that they're there. There's a cut right here, and that's why I love using this program for doing print and cut, or even cutting out pieces for you know, that are cardstock. So. Anything else? Does anyone use printable vinyl? Do you actually print on it? Yeah, you do actually print on printable vinyl. Well, I have, yeah, especially if it's the sticker stuff, you could print on that, definitely. Or you can, they have the printable vinyl that's heat transfer. I'm trying to see if I have a thing that I did here. I think it's upstairs with the printable vinyl. But you can definitely do it, just like with stickers. Let's see what else. Yay, Betsy, I'm glad you did. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so Nuvo drops. I thought I ordered a bunch, but I guess I did not yet. Okay, I guess that's about it then. It's 11:05. I'm sure some of you want to get on out of here. But do check out that Silhouette program. You know, download it for free and try it. If you like it, you can go ahead and go use my code if you wouldn't mind, and go to Swing Design and purchase it. I'm going to play with it a little bit again today. I was having a hard time getting set up for today because I kept playing with it yesterday, and I kept telling Tammy, oh my gosh, I got to get prepared for tomorrow. So, you know, you get to playing with something and it gets so exciting. I don't know. So, all right. You enjoy the rest of your evening, Stephanie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Bye. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.